Hey Pirates, my name is Lauren and I'm the current social media and marketing intern for the Alumni Association. So I'm going to make a profile with you guys and go through some tips to help beef up your ECU Connect profiles and get started connecting with alumni and finding some good mentors. To make things easy and make sure I cover everything, I'm just going to go down the update profile page. First things first, you'll want to sync your LinkedIn account if you haven't already done so. Aside from pulling valuable information about you, this also gives you the little LinkedIn icon on your profile, making it easier for people to connect with you on both platforms. If, however, you don't have a LinkedIn and still need to beef up your Connect profile, I would suggest making a LinkedIn account first and then syncing it, because Connect will pull the information from LinkedIn, and that way you don't have to do double the work and you save time. So once LinkedIn is synced, you only have to go back and fill in some of the blanks if you have them. Starting at the top with your professional title, if it didn't automatically come up, then of course you'll want to add in something. So whether you have a part-time job or an internship, you should go ahead and make that your title. If you don't have a position, I would at least put student at East Carolina University to avoid having just nothing at nothing. You all are at least pursuing a degree, and I say that's worth putting as your title. Moving along to the summary section. Since this is where I think most alumni would talk about when they graduated and what they've been up to since, this is where I would write something along the lines of, I'm currently completing a degree in this and plan on pursuing a career in that upon my graduation in whichever year. I would maybe even add some current goals you may have, like, I'm currently looking for an internship doing blank and looking for a mentor in blank. Briefly going over the willing to help section, I would keep these 3 checked and unchecked willing to be a mentor. So on Reconnecting, I would skip the first part because obviously we haven't graduated. And in the memories section, I would write something general like, during my time here at ECU, I've really enjoyed going to football games and getting involved around campus. Something along those lines that you feel you can relate to. And then of course, you'll want to list any and everything you're involved in on campus, including your school or college, any clubs, fraternities, sororities, etc. So your My ECU profile should have came up after you filled out the registration form, so we can skip over that. And the same goes for education. Under work, you'll find all the information you put in on your LinkedIn. If you didn't put much, you'll want to list anything from internships to part-time positions you've recently had. Especially if you worked there for more than a year or so and had some type of leadership position like team lead or supervisor. But I would even put relevant volunteer work, because that still beefs up your work experience, especially if it's relevant to your professional field. Moving along to your profile picture. You really want this to be as professional as possible, so this means no group or other person in a photo, no red Solo cups or you sunbathing on the beach. Your headshot should be from the chest up, wearing something nice with a clean background, all in a well-lit, clear and crisp photo. And it can be easy. I took this photo pretty quick on my bed with my camera and tripod, a business up top and sweats on the bottom. Nowadays, most people know someone with a DSLR camera or even a new iPhone works. I know Career Services does free headshots at some of their career events, so they might be able to offer something if you ask for their help. Worst comes to worst, you can always check out a DSLR from Joiner and recruit a friend to help you, or check out a tripod too and do it yourself. Last section of our profile update is contact information. Your email should automatically be here from registering. I would suggest using a different email from your ECU email just because they close a few months after you graduate, and this can save you from forgetting to go back and edit this later. Here where it says website would be the perfect place to put a digital resume or online portfolio that has some work samples if you have one. And then of course, like I was saying before, you can connect your different social media accounts and have this little icon show up for people to click on. But of course, you want to be mindful of what you post, or in Facebook's case, what others might post with you tagged in it. After all of that, we'll of course want to go connect with some alumni. So I'm going to go to the directory, and I'm going to go over here to refine your search so I can specify what kind of professionals I'm looking for. Choose the field I'm interested in, and let it sort through. From here, I can choose someone from my endless options, and then I can follow them, request them to mentor me, and then I would maybe even shoot them a message like, hey, saw you had some experience in the marketing field and was wondering if you had some tips on how to do such and such. And then I could even go and request to connect with them on LinkedIn. Well, I think that's a pretty good start to the platform. I hope that you guys can really make the most of ECU Connect, and thanks for watching.